Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our 20th annual and the 21st anniversary of our 9/11. It's heartwarming to see everyone out here so early on a Sunday morning, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And today we remember all those who were lost in 9/11, and of course our hometown hero, Port Authority Police Officer James Nelson. Let's start with a salute to the flag. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can you please join me, and I'm not going to lead, I'm going to step back to make it nice. The Star Spangled Banner. Thank you. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, for so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you. This is always a very difficult day, thinking back 21 years ago on what happened right here in New York City, out in our Pentagon and out in Pennsylvania, to see our country attacked, to see so many innocent people lost their lives, so many families disrupted, so many families saddened by what happened. I remember the day vividly here in town. Growing up here in Clark, I always knew this is a great community, but to see the love and respect and the genuine concern that this community had shown for all people of 9/11, and of course, our hero, Port Authority Officer Jim Nelson. I like to always say that Roseanne is here today, and as she always is. And Roseanne, thank you for being here, and we always have our heart out for you and the family. We saw a time in which is so different from today, where I see so many divides in our country. That was a day and a time when everyone came together. People were caring, people were loving, people were genuinely concerned. We had a memorial service out on the high school football field, and I think between the field, the bleachers, the fields behind it, the estimate was in over 5,000 people showed up that day to honor and pray for the victims and families of the 9/11. Our country came together. It's a time that we should all come together again and remember what happens here. The people of Clark just were amazing. Again, as I said earlier, with the love and concern they've had for all. And it showed me a community that cares so much, a loving, caring, accepting community, and I truly believe that in my heart. We watch it today on TV. Those of you who are here totally remember, and I thank you for being here. As we go through the ceremony, what I always do every year is open it up to some citizens, or any citizen would like to speak. We have members here today of our volunteer fire department who I accompanied to Fresh Kills landfill for a day to watch them go through debris looking for what they were looking. Let's leave it at that. And they were there as volunteers, and I appreciated their service. I know our police at the time were at aid stations, and someone who couldn't make it today is on a trip, our new Township business administrator, Jim Ulrich. Jim was a member of council at the time, working in New York City, a trained EMT. And when this all kind of broke and we got a handle on what's happened, I remember calling Jim to see if he was okay. There was no answer. his wife couldn't get in contact. And finally, about 10:30 that night, he reached out, and I said, "Where you been?" And he said, "Well, on my way home, walking over the Brooklyn Bridge from my spot in Lower Manhattan, I was stopping at aid stations and helping people as a EMT." And I thought that was just heartwarming to show the kind of individual he is. At this time, I'm going to call up, I know, like to speak today is Mr. Ed Ruth. Ed, would you like to come up?
Good morning, everyone.
Can you fix the microphone?
How's that? Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, members of council, first responders, Nelson family, and friends. I thought you read my speech before, but a year ago, we gathered here to remember and honor those we lost on 9/11/2001. It was the 20th anniversary of the event that changed America as we knew it. Now, a year later, here we are in the 21st anniversary of these tragic events. Unfortunately, more recently, we have lost the feeling of unity that we all had immediately after the attack. We need to get that feeling back. First off, I would like to thank the mayor for allowing me to speak to you all these weeks and years. It's been my pleasure. I also would like to thank the library staff that allows me to do the memorial of the various memorabilia that I have from 9/11 in the library. There's many stories of heroism as the events unfolded of 9/11, and they've been told repeatedly. We know and will never forget the heroism of our brave police and first responders. But I read an interesting story on Facebook not too long ago about another 9/11 hero that I hadn't heard before, and I'd like to share that with you. It involves a gentleman named James Crane who worked on the 101st floor of Tower 1. James was blind and had a golden retriever, Daisy. After the first plane hit, some 20 floors below him, James, because of his disability, felt there was no way for him to get out. He released Daisy to find her own way out of the building. 30 minutes later, Daisy came back to the 101st floor with James's boss, who had been on the 112th floor. Daisy then led James, his boss, and some 300 other people out of the tower to safety. The story goes on to say that Daisy saved another 392 on a second run for the tower. On her third run, Tower 1 collapsed. Against all odds, Daisy made it out alive, being carried out by a firefighter who claimed that the dog led firefighters to other people, another 273, before she herself was injured. She suffered smoke inhalation, severe burns to all four paws, and a broken leg. Man and woman's best friend was an amazing hero. In total, Daisy saved a total of 967 people that day. Months later, she was awarded the New York City Medal of Honor. As we commemorate this 21st anniversary of that tragic day and remember our lost heroes, let us be kinder to one another, respect each other more, and let us never forget. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ed. I'd like to call up our next speaker is former Clark Police Lieutenant and neighbor here, Jerry Scatoro. Jerry? There he is. Morning, Jerry.
Morning, everyone. 21 years, hard to believe. I was on the Clark Police Department, lieutenant at the time, and as you can imagine, nobody really knew what was happening that first morning when the planes hit. I remember my children were in school. People were going to get their children out of school. Nobody really knew what was happening, but we learned quickly. So I'm at a loss for words after 21 years, so I'm going to play this. I got it on YouTube. I heard it on 101.5, and this is my speech for today.
Side of one of the World Trade Center towers. There's smoke and everything coming off the tower. There was a noise, but there it is, something else there. Something else just hit the tower. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Plane just hit the tower. It hit the other tower. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. And it's a massive explosion. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Walked out this morning, and I wrote down this song. We're in a total lockdown with transportation right now. Just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Both towers now are ablaze. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. We have sunny skies in the streets right now with desert. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. One of the World Trade Center towers has collapsed. But I always thought that I'd see you again. It appears that either one or both of the crashes were in fact suicide missions. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. I fear no evil, for you are with me. Just got to see me through another day. And we stand together to win the war against terrorism. My body's aching and my time is at hand. The United States will hunt down, I won't make it any other way, and punish those responsible. Oh, I've seen fire, I've seen rain. Our country is strong. Seen sunny days that I thought would never end.
I saw people jumping off the building.
Seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. Probably the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in my life. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Let's tell them that we're not going to tolerate this anymore. These people are animals. Been walking my mind to an easy time. My back turned towards the sun. Oh my God. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. Oh my God. There's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about things to come.
Absolute horror. It was horror.
Sweet dreams and flying machines in pieces on the ground. Debris, broken glass. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Go to get an American flag and put it up outside. Seen sunny days that I thought would never end. It's unbelievable the feeling that I have inside of me. Seen only times when I could not find a friend. I have a friend that was on the 98th floor that we haven't heard from. But I always thought that I'd see you, baby. It was a rough day. One more time again. Ash, concrete all over my shirt. I'm trying to get home. Thought I'd see you one more time again.
My 6-year-old just last week asked my husband not to take him to the observation center.
There's just a few things coming my way this time around. It's time to tell them enough is enough. None of us will ever forget this day, yet we go forward to defend freedom and all that is good and just in our world.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jerry. Is there anyone else that'd like to come forward and say a few words? Feel free. Okay, just to reiterate again, you know, at a time in our country, the word hero was bestowed upon police, fire, and members of first aid. From then, really more so going forward, let's always remember our first responders and what they do each and every day, not just on days of horrific tragedy, but each and every day, and thank them for what they do. And this mayor and council most certainly does thank our first responders in this community throughout the nation for being so caring and giving so much of themselves. And we should always remember that in our dealings with these folks each and every day. After the ceremony, the Polish Cultural Foundation, which is located right down the road, is inviting everyone to a free brunch, I guess immediately following right after this ceremony. I'd like to thank the Polish Cultural Foundation for your generosity today and also being such great neighbors in our community. We're happy you're here and we thank you very much for that. At this time, since there's no other speakers coming forward, as we go about our business today, let's again remember those who are lost. Let's never forget. The crowd here has been great each and every year for the 20 years of the ceremonies that we've been doing. And I thank you all for coming out. I look through the crowd. I see so many familiar faces that are here each and every year. And hopefully we can add to the crowd each and every year. It's something that we should never forget. Probably the most horrific day in our nation's history. And we should always come together to remember those who are lost. At this time, I'll end this ceremony by asking you to join me in singing of God Bless America, and then please go in peace and enjoy your day. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the lights up above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you. Go in peace. God bless you all. God bless our great community and, of course, our nation. God bless you and thank you.